Reactor online. Sensors online. Weapons online. All systems nominal.
As they slipped away, just entrusted us their word. Message passed on the sphere. It's beyond its sky, knows for word was satisfied. That our orders are seen now. Without our orders, without our orders, seen now. No one could speak beyond its sky. Without our orders, are seen now. Trusted us this way, and we became the sphere's guiding light. Primal Stoma then forged our faith toward mankind, as Blake prescribed. Almost to lost, walks our ground. Forgot their sacred task, kept our knowledge on their grasp. As the trials of the past, and then would seize what we amassed, until they proved the birth at last. Until they proved, with the last. True grey would change the tide, hands alone that treasure line. For some what they would find, our sacred order could no longer guide. Long lost core, a grand design. A long lost core, a long lost core. Grand design, long lost core, and a grand design. Lost in me, what we have to tell you. Good evening, pilots and mercs. How are we doing this evening? Hello, fan of fuses, Legionum, and Alpha. It's good to see everybody. 4.10 is here, and there is no volume. I'm well aware, because I normally turn it down so that way you can hear the music for the introduction, or like during the setting up of the stream, and then we can do this. Now, I say set up the stream. It doesn't usually end up that way. It's usually me just kind of mentally preparing for the stream, but it's nice. Oh yes, 4.10 comes with the new reset of our characters, which means everything that I had is, well, unless it was store-bought, it's now gone. So we get to make our character again. and I immediately want to go for, yeah, the braids were in fact the move in the first place. Also, it's a little bit low on my end, but we'll see. Also, if you are looking forward to the new part of the, you are currently offline. Great, thank you. Hopefully it won't be an issue. If it is, well, the stream's gonna cut short and that's gonna be that. But if you're looking forward to the new part of the clan primers, that video has been uploaded. It is currently processing as last I saw and should be up momentarily. Wasn't it a full wipe, I think? It better not have been a full wipe. I tell you what, it better not have been a full wipe, because I'm going to be upsetty spaghetti if that's the case. Because I have to go make a whole new fortune, and I'm not looking forward to that. I want purple hair. Yep. I kind of want purple. The purple goes hard, but the blonde also kind of goes hard, so... I don't know. Chat, what do you think? Purple or blonde? What are we thinking? Because I could go either way on this one. Well, I'll give chat a few seconds to, like, do that. I'm going to see about the eyes. Also, tattoos. This one's my favorite. Suppose just the materials and active refinery fab jobs. Yeah, that's... Even that's, like... Come on. Really? They worked hard to get that. Like, don't get me wrong. I don't deal with mining and all that sort of shenanigans, but I feel for them. Like, to lose all of your progress at once, the chat should now be active, by the way. To lose all that progress is just heartbreaking. Because you're kind of just sitting there going, I want that. Go purple, be different, be ungovernable. Well, with that sort of attitude, yes, I very much like the purple. God, it looks so good. Especially with this braid, it's just... Yeah, you can tell what I'm definitely into. Let's see here. I want complete purple for this one. Now, let's see. For the eyes, I want something... Kind of want something a little bit darker. Do we have something darker? I was trying for the lips on that one, but eyes. Here we go. Oh, is that just... I'm not sure if that's changing it or not, but I want dark. That's not really changing the eye. Unless, is it like not? Oh. Oh, it is. I want the wings. Yeah, the wings look cool. Okay. Do we just... Yeah, no, that's good. That's good. Do I want any piercings? They only really have the balls, which just... They have the balls, the pipes, and the studs. That's it. And it's just like... Can we have a little bit more variety with this? This needed a little bit of a touch-up, but... Again, it's a huge project, and I get that. So it's like, nope. This is good. This is what I want. I'm gonna save this, Oni. Yeah, let's go with that. It looks like I had a shard left over from 4.9, but I'm just gonna skip this tutorial. Ooh, new artwork. Now, you might be asking why I don't use artwork for the, I haven't used artwork for the thumbnails, and the answer is, it's kind of hard. Like, okay. I should probably spend a little bit more time in the game and actually take a few screenshots. That's a failing on my part, for sure. but like trying to look up stuff on the internet for pictures of Star Citizen is not that great. So I've been expanding the thumbnails by trying to just use stock like NASA footage, but it looks a little off. That's why. It's just more like I'm trying to use what I got. So I do kind of want to go for the Nyx system because Nyx has been nice, but with losing all those ships to that damn elevator, I don't know if I want to do that. So Stanton, new Babbage, please. Looks like most everything is still here. Items, money, and rep is good. Hello, Blue Nova. How are we doing today? Like I said, this will become your primary residence. Are you sure about this? Yes. New Babbage is, yes. New Babbage is my home because I went to Orson, and while Orson has a lot of good, like, tech, trying to get from transport to transport is a pain. Like, and more to the point, it just wasn't beautiful. Once you sit down for long enough, it's just like, this is a place that's more industrial. And I'm like, it's not exactly what I want. So New Babbage being all snow covered and whatnot is, yeah, it's a little bit better. Orson reeling after Nine Tails attack. Oh yeah, about that. I haven't been playing too much since 4.9. I took a little bit of a break for more personal reasons, but there's been a lot of trauma going on in the Star Citizen community, basically around the release of this particular patch. I'm just like, oh, you're just gonna drop me here. Okay. I have the default suit and pistol. Blue Nova, thank you for the gifted memberships. To everyone who just received a gifted membership, you now have access to all the emotes, including the Arrow 4, Mad Cat, and the new one coming out shortly. Please use responsibly, no blowing up other people's chats, and enjoy. That puts us at 7:10, by the way. Enjoy your Percy's. When did I get a Percy? What? Help? When did I get that ship? Does that make it 710 or is it 711? I think it's 710, but I'm not 100% sure on that one. So if somebody wants to tally it up, check the ship's terminal. Did I get that as like a subscriber special or something? I didn't buy this. What? Huh? I did not buy this. Was this a subscriber special for the Reclaimer? I don't remember buying that. There's a Clipper, there's a Corsair. I didn't buy the... No. I did not buy this. I did not touch this. Huh? We get them as rentals. Ship Showdown. Oh, that makes more sense. I was about to say, so just to give some context to why I'm like freaking the fuck out. This one I got via my org and like us doing the raid and whatnot. This is a $500 ship. This one right here is another $500 at least. Actually, okay, so let me rephrase that. It is a $500 ship. However, most of the time you can only get it as part of the package, which is an unfathomable amount of money, about 17K, from what I can see on the store. And I was just like, no. Like, if I had enough disposable income, maybe if it's like a drop in the bucket and it's just like I have made sure that my needs are met and taken care of a lot of other people, sure, I can enjoy that luxury. But no, I'm not buying a ship like that just because, ooh, fun. Ooh, there's also the Stingray here too. Starlancer Max, that's one that I've had. You have no idea how much I want to rip this out of storage and just yeet it at some of the Gilly missions. An M80? You're just gonna straight up give me an M80. Okay, sure. And then, yeah, there's the Perseus. Okay, so Ironclad is 800. Yeah, no, it's insanely priced, is the point. But, yep, 6.7 mil. Should be fine. As for rep, ooh, they updated the rep screen. Okay. Okay, I can get down with this. So basically, instead of it being vertical like it was, it's horizontal now, and it looks a lot more clean. Except for this, I don't know what's going on with that, but we pay that no mind. I'm gonna go ahead and throw them up there. Hopefully that works. I don't think I got the Drake Golem for this, by the way. Yeah, she kind of screwed me on that one. It's like I went through all that bullshit of doing ship after ship just in distress and just nothing. Star System ain't good. Daniel, I will say this. I have a lot of fun with the game in spite of all the bugs that it has. I would say for an experience as like a first-person experience, it is a wonderful game. It is filled full of bugs. The developers are grappling with the scope of this, and it is a mess. But it is a fun mess for those who absolutely love it. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of the Star System chat for a second. But yes, Armor, to answer your question, I believe so. For me, yes. For others, that's going to be a different answer altogether. I absolutely love it because of the space combat and just the sense of scale that it has, but it's also that sense of detail is down to the minute detail as well. So I would say for me, absolutely. For another person, they go, fuck that. I want a 15-minute match in space, and that's it. And I get that. So just depends on what you're looking for. Oh, this was also a this was a little souvenir from that quest. That was a lot of fun. It's good when it works. Yes, that is a apt description. Good when it works. The level of bugs is on par with the mid-2000s Bethesda or Paradox game on release, which is to say it's quite buggy, but it does work, and it's a lot of fun. Especially, like, I remember when Skyrim first came out, it was a buggy mess, and now everyone's like, actually no, even on release for Skyrim, Angry Joe, I remember, gave it a 10 out of 10. Not a perfect game, but still legendary, and I think that still holds up a little bit to this day, but yeah, it's a bit of a mess. Forgive me, I'm just trying to find the, forgive me, I'm just trying to find the super heavy armor, and that's not... I did see the backpack, but I didn't see the, basically, if you want to only invest $45 into a pack and try it from there. Yeah, that would be a good way to go about it. I'm going to put in steel and see if it... Okay, there we go. Warning, helmet black steel. This must have been one of the helmets I looted a long time ago, but here it is. Here is the pack, and it looks good. All right, so we're just going to don the helmet. We are not going to don the helmet. We're going to put this on. Clunk. Okay, that is a lot of clunking going on there. All right, so there's that. Here's the gun. I'm just gonna go ahead and... Do you see how massive this fucking thing is? Damn. Here's the problem. Here's the problem with all this. Oh, yes. That was what I was looking for. Just... I hear that sound and it just... it does things for me. It's like ASMR, but the anti-ASMR. Yeah. Yeah, this was worth it. Can I jump? I would assume I'm pressing space, but nothing is happening. I'm assuming that jumping is not... Yeah, there is no jumping with this suit. Fair enough, but yeah, this is the Damascus steel super heavy armor. This one is the War Bond. So if you're looking to get this in game, it does not exist right now. However, it could exist later on. Annika is getting flustered, it seems. Look. Listen. Oh, that does wonders. But unfortunately, the suit is bulky, so we're gonna have to have plenty of ammo for it. And well, I just learned things stored in the storerolls got wiped 5 hours before grabbing ship from the ship. Ship and distress missions got wiped. Oh shit! I had a couple things in a storerall box too. Not too much. Actually, no. I think that got wiped, but that got destroyed before the patch, so it's fine. Yeah, the storerolls don't save, unfortunately, which is the boxes do, but not everything inside of it. Because yeah, it's one of those things I wish they would specify a little bit more, but yeah. And yeah, this is a bit of the trouble. You basically have to... Taking it off is a bit of a struggle. Yeah, taking it off is a bit of a struggle. Can I drag it into local or... Okay, there we go. Can I drop the item on the floor and then... Oh! Well, yes, that did work, but at the same time... Me no think that's how that's supposed to work, yeah? Oh. I have become robot. And I need to put something on before YouTube has an absolute fit. I was trying to look up, not that, I wanted the... Is that not... yeah, I just wanted this. I just wanted, wanted that, and yeah, it's still playing some of the other. Find somebody that listens to you the way Annika listens to her power armor. True, true. It's worth the bulk. Oh, I bet it is. I just need to... That is so weird. I need to get this onto a ship, which I think today will be... I'm kind of thinking the Corsair, because I have access to it for a little bit. stuff should be insured, but we'll see. Yeah, so we're going to be hearing that for the rest of the stream, unfortunately. Like, regardless of whether I'm wearing the armor or not, it will still be played, and it is going to be a bit of a mess. But we will do what we can. Oh, Christ. They left the quantum field amount in ships. Good. Good, because do you know how stressful it was trying to get across Nyx? Even with a 15-minute cooldown on the ship and like the fuel beacons, you would still be faced with objectives that were way farther than, like, basically you'd be going 90 kilometers in one direction, and then they would slap a 15-minute cooldown on the fuel beacon, which, by the way, is only going to get you like to your destination and then maybe a little bit more. So you might be able to complete 2 missions in a fuel tank, but that's it. Like, you're going to be refueling in space. The Asgard went from 1.7 mil to 7.5 mil. In price or in fuel? Because that's a major difference right there. I would assume it's more, I would assume that's more just like, how do you say it? That's more just fuel than actual cost fuel. Okay, that makes more sense. That's a little bit more reasonable. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and equip a power tool, or yeah, this thing. This thing does not have a module. Can it still? Okay, I'm just looking for, no, it doesn't have a, it doesn't have the tractor beam attachment, which means it's not going to be very useful. Do I have one currently equipped? I do not. Budge. Okay, well, I do have a tractor beam attachment. Cool. Did I put that on there? I did not, but it's here, so I can at least do that. Perfect. Okay, so I'm going to go over to the freight elevator. I'm going to grab the ammo that I have, and then any other bits, like armor, just anything like that. Also, this bug has still been prevalent since the PTU, so not sure what's causing it. Don't know. I'm just gonna continue on. Also, is that? You see, I wish this was a, I think it might be actually. Hold on. No, this just, I wish this was, this maintenance pad, I wish this was a small vehicle pad. So essentially you could call up your main ship and then call up a, basically a support vehicle, like the Ursa, and then just shove it into the Drake Corsair and then take off, leave. Right now it's pull out the Ursa, put it off to the side, take it off to the side, and then try and get your other ship without despawning the other one. So I'm going to go ahead and put all this out here, ready to go, and then that is the Steel Tech S, or LMG, or HMG, I think that's the HMG. So I'm going to want the I'm going to put Ven and see if that, okay, there is a little bit of ammo, not much, but there is some. That was the only pack that I had here. Well, it's enough to get me in a little bit of trouble, but I need a little bit more than that. But using multiple elevators, using multiple elevators would make sense. Can't have that. True, Wilson. I appreciate the fact that they're at least trying to patch the bugs and whatnot, and then try to slowly work their way towards other stuff. And I get that it's been a mess, but at least they're trying, for what that's worth. So I'm going to go ahead and put... Do I want to put... kind of want to put a size 8 container. Well, this is going to despawn pretty quick, so... just for today's shenanigans, I'm going to do that. I might change that later, but who knows? Because again, I play this online and offline, so... This character gets a lot of mileage just even outside of streaming. Okay, that's... Yeah, that's not concerning at all. Can I just carry that? Can I? Yeah, there we go. It's not odd at all. Just gonna open this and then toss that in there. That takes up... Oh, that's the armor. I'm trying to get... Is it not... I'm so confused. Is it not recognizing the... Cool, I just dropped that through the floor. Excellent. Well, sure. Where did my... Okay, I'm gonna drag this over here. I'm gonna drag this over here. We're gonna open the storage crate, and then we're... Hello, game. I'm gonna pick this up, and then we're just gonna toss it inside the container. There we go. Yeah, this is the norm... What? Huh? Why is it going over there? Come over here, please. No. No. Why is it... What is happening? I'm so confused. Okay. Sure, if we can't... Why is everything floaty? What is happening? Get in there. Get in there. Hello there, Nova Cat. How are we doing today? If you're wondering what the hell I'm doing to join the club, I don't fucking know at this point. I'm trying to get all this into a container so we can go to... Get in there. God, that is... Okay. A few hiccups here and there. We're fine. Can I drag that in there? I can't drag that in there. Okay. Into the box it goes. Perfect. Now, here's another question. How are your space adventures going today? Things are going. I will give it that. However, I lost my first package of... Oh, my mouse died. All right, well, cool. I have some batteries here. That's fine. But yeah, space adventures are going peculiar. I just wanted one battery. That is, you know, that's all I wanted. And one battery I shall have. There we go. Are you happy now, mouse? Hello there. Hello there, Wood. How are we doing today? A scale of 1 to bugs, life, how is the new patch? So far, it's been, we've seen 2 bugs so far. I can count on one hand all the bugs I've seen today. This one here, where the armor is still trying to make the noise that it does, which, cool. And we had one where just, one where my ammo just yeeted off into space off the elevator, and that was that. But I mean, I haven't really experienced too much of the patch yet, so probably a little early for judgments. Although I can tell you now, it's this patch is floaty. And what I mean by that is, need I see more? It is like Crisco on this floor. That thing moves around the floor like somebody put some butter there. It almost reminds me of my burnt potatoes. Oh, it might have burned. Oh, it might have absolutely burned. But you better believe that thing came flying out of the pan. About the only good thing that happened on that dreadful cooking experience, which is unusual for me because I don't usually cook like that, but like, I usually cook really good, but for whatever reason, I just messed up that day, and we're never gonna, gravity is overrated. Oh boy, that's not going to be a problem at all. No, definitely not. Definitely not going to spin off into outer space, and that's it. So friction. So is friction. We hope that that's friction. And the game just not absolutely losing its shit. But yeah, that's it for that. Also, I have not shown off the Drake Corsair, I don't think. So, this is the absolutely spacious cargo space that is back here, and I do like it, actually. This place is quite nice. It feels like a garage for like one of those, for like a cookie cutter house, if you know what I mean. Like one of those suburb houses. Maybe too much exposed wiring and like cooling vents and whatnot, but it does give me that garage feel, vibe. And let's see, off to the right here, we have some lockers, some weapon lockers over here. These are, I believe, are supposed to be the suits. These are supposed to be the suit lockers. Not functional yet, but maybe one day, if the $1 billion that we've all contributed towards this game goes anywhere, else it will finally put these suit lockers here. So I would love that. We could live out of these ships. A little bit more than we already can, for sure. You have spaces for super weapons like railguns and whatnot. It is a nice little place. And again, this is the Drake Corsair, so a lot of people have seen it, but it is a beautiful ship, and I do want to admire it for the time that we'll be on this ship. You have the dining area where you'll be watching you'll either be watching the inner wirings of the ship or stock market. I can't really tell which. It looks about as down in some areas as the stock market is, so who knows. You have your bathroom right here, emergency supplies, toothbrush, your dare, which is dare grind. Okay, this is a man's sort of shampoo, conditioner, baked potatoes, 13-in-1. It is basically a 13-in-1 product, and it does everything and also acts as like an oil for your car or for your spacecraft in this case. It's great. You also have a bit of storage underneath the bed there. Hello, that is a really awkward place for that. But you have the beds as well, a little bit more storage for them, and that's just duplicated here. Which, not gonna lie, I really love this setup because basically they have independent hubs, so you can have your stuff here along the right side, and you can basically not be forced to do the bunk bed situation, which this is a lot better. I love this sort of ship design. This sort of design language is nice. Also, there's an elevator here to go from the various floors. You have the 2 turrets off the side, and then that looks like some sort of CAN network. I don't know too much about that, but I would say, yeah, it's, but yeah, you have 3 screens for that, so hope you enjoy that, because that's what you're going to be seeing for the duration of the trip. And this is the cockpit, and I believe the captain's quarters as well. The captain has their quarters here, not much greater than what we had before, but still. Co-pilot's seat, which basically never gets used, because if you use the co-pilot's seat, the pilot gets less weapons, and we don't like that. Also, these Drake ships, I absolutely love the, I love the cockpit design for these. That is a fucking seat. That is a seat that I know is not going to fail me. Like, it is a very robust seat, and I love it. Probably going to be uncomfortable, but you know what? We make do with what we got. Forget the bunk bed. 2-in-1 to promote 2-in-1 to promote camaraderie. 4-in-1 if you count hot bunking. Look, no, I hate that. That's what ruined the Star Lancer attack for me. What do you mean that there is like 16 double bunk beds on that ship and that's it? I know it's a military ship, and that's kind of why they do that. But at the same time, I want to rip it out, and I want to put individual halves in there. You could do something like those sorts of halves over there. It wouldn't take up that much space. Or hell, even take the Aurora Mark II, take that little cubby hole, that basically the capsule pod, shove a couple of those in there. I would be satisfied with that, because just having a tiny bit of privacy would be fantastic. And again, I don't think the cubby holes are the capsule pods are a bad solution. Personally, I don't know how everybody else would feel about that. And it's not just about me. But at the same time, that's why you have the module ships. And I wish they worked a little bit more, because like the Aegis Eclipse, or not the Eclipse, the I forget what the name of that ship was. It was the Aegis Reclaimer, I think. The one that has the size 9 torpedoes, I think. That one has individual mods, which is great because you can swap out what that thing does. Whether you have like a habitation or the torpedoes or whatever, you will have everything that you want for that ship. Unfortunately, it just tends to bug out. Yep, it completely bugs out, and basically the module just ceases to exist. 16 double bunk bed, 32 people, and 64 if you hot bunk. Yes, a lot of people get to get to be there and all that. Yes, I get that. I'm frustrated because a lot of these ship designs seem to be preordained, and it's just the Star Lancer Max, for example, a more civilian model doesn't have the tier 3 med beds. So it's either you deal with the bunk beds or you don't get med beds. You get habitations or you get med beds. And I'm just like, but why? Why are we doing this? Because, like, the ship designs are cool. I just wish that they would allow us to either switch out the mod or just maybe go into 20th century submarines level of privacy. Yeah, not even so much as like a curtain. Which, don't get me wrong, I understand where the military aspect comes from. It's like you have little to no privacy whatsoever, like for the showers, or for like, you basically got like a medical, you know, like those medical curtains for like the hospitals where they divide like basically you from seeing the other patients to have some sort of privacy. That's basically what you got for the bathrooms. And it's like, it's kind of funny. It provides a little bit more privacy than most of the school bathrooms, or like a lot of other public facilities restroom doors do, which is so weird, because like most of, at least the ones in America, they cut off like at the knees for the door, like to the restroom, and they cut off a little bit at the top as well. It doesn't go from the floor to the ceiling. So you have a lot of people who just have to deal with that, and it's just like, but why? Why are we doing that? And I'm trying to lower the landing gear, or like raise it, excuse me. My ship swings are not, unless those don't, are those supposed to be like that? I didn't think they were supposed to be like that, but the landing gear is up, so. I thought you could fold down the wings. Okay, okay, it's separate. It's a separate button from the landing gear. Interesting. I thought I was losing my mind there for a second, but no, we're fine. I am heading up to the port so we can grab some ammo, and then we can be on our way. Press Enter K. Maybe the funky bunky is a result of the DAMCOM requirements, centralize and simplify life support to maximize survival chance. I guess so, but like, if that's the case for that ship, fine, but give us a ship that we can, like a daily driver, like, basically I want the 600i, is what I'm saying, after the rework specifically. Because the 600i is gonna have a tier 3 med bed. It already has a suit locker. It already has enough space for a vehicle. It has size 5, 3 size 5 cannons, and like, and it has a luxurious bed and bar. And a kitchen to boot. So, like, I'm kind of sitting there going, yeah, I'm kind of vibing with the Origin ship, except for the price, which is like 27 mils, so I'm gonna have to get onto the player market, or at least like be supplying my org with a whole bunch of shit just to try and to afford the med bed, but at least I'll have it. And again, a lot of people are like, oh, well, why not just use the Ursa? And it's like, same problem as I mentioned earlier. You have to sit there. I don't have any power to. What is... Okay, we're just gonna reboot this. Yep, that's... Yeah. But yeah, you basically... You're basically trading off for other things. I'm just like, I want a ship that I can daily for a lot of different activities. And if I have to pay a higher price to get that, so be it. But it's kind of painful. It's going well, and Anka is flying a pretty cool ship. Yes, the Corsair is a beautiful ship. I wish, again, it had a med bed somewhere, but like... And again, the reason I emphasize that is because a lot of contracts require you to do some dangerous and sketchy stuff. You never know what happens on the battlefield, and you could get shot down very quickly. I have had a goods for the taking mission go completely wrong because I was out in the field, you know, getting the gold to a different ship, and then trying to take off, only to have a pirate just absolutely murk me. And because I didn't have a med bed, I couldn't respawn on my ship and try to take it back from the pirate. And again, you're in Pyro, you're gonna get PvP'd. It's a PvP zone, I get it. That's not, no shade to that pirate, by the way. As much as I'm frustrated that you took the gold, it was well played, and I'm not going to be a sourpuss about it. Like, I feel like a lot of people, again, touchy subject, but there is a difference between griefing and PvP. And I think if you're going into Pyro, you are going into a PvP zone, and they're not necessarily going there to... Again, they're not going there to grief you. It's a high-risk, high-reward area. And in my case, I'm going and taking gold from pirates. So, yeah, somebody is inevitably gonna go, maybe if I just wait for somebody to offload a whole bunch of gold, I can just take it. You know? Like anybody would in that sort of situation. And a lot of people are like, oh, but that's frustrating. It's like, yes, it is, but that's kind of the nature of things. And it's like, I don't like engaging in PvP. I'll be honest. I think that it's not for me. But if I have to engage with it, since I'm in that area, I accept that. Star Citizen better than Starfield. 100% yes. This was made with passion and love, and despite the scope of this game going way beyond what it should have ever gone for right now, and all the bugs and whatnot, it was made with passion and love. Starfield feels like it was made with AI from beginning to end. There was not a place where it didn't have influence. And again, I say it, I don't have proof of that, by the way. I'm going to be straight up with you. That is an opinion, not an objective fact. Yeah, because I don't know if there's evidence on that, but still, it feels like a soulless game, point to point. And for Starfield, or Star Citizen at least, there is a point. Your existence within the world. This is Second Life, basically. you are playing a person and you are going and creating something, you are discovering stuff in the world, or you are going off and taking on contracts, supporting the admittedly non-existent economy. I will admit that the economy is all sorts of busted right now, or at least the last time I checked it was. So there is that, but it's like, at least there is something there, and it doesn't feel as like soulless. High risk, high reward zone. Somebody blows you up to steal your gold, then fair play. Exactly. And I figured out quite quick that if I'm taking that, I'm not sticking around. It's like, if I take that ship and it's full of gold, I'm leaving as fast as my quantum drive can take me. And there are some locations, again, I can't, I'm not gonna keep it. If you go to Stanton Gateway from, here, let me pull it up on the map, since it's kind of pertinent that I have the map in front of me to kind of show you what I mean by this. So, if you go to the Pyro system, and then you go to Starlight Station, which is, where is it? I don't know. Doesn't matter, right? You go to Starlight Station, you go to wherever you're going off in these sorts of areas, R&B location, something like that. You steal the gold. Your best shot of getting that gold without like unloading it there and having the ship potentially despawn, if you go to, say, if you go to Stanton Gateway here, you will get the gold. You will be able to offload it. You'll be fine. If you go anywhere else, Checkmate or like Rat's Nest, your ship will despawn. I don't know why. I don't know if that's somebody else is rocking the set. We'd love to see it. But if you go to either of those locations, it'll despawn, and I don't know why. Like I showed off in that one clip that is since blown up, by the way. Like, 12K views is absolutely insane. Thank you to everyone on that one. But yeah, like, it'll despawn for whatever reason, but if you go there, it's fine, and that's that. Also, randomly coming across somebody in space and blowing them up in a PvP zone is just PvP, not griefing. Yeah, I feel like griefing is more like, I'm gonna call out some people. Ashland. Yeah, you guys that sit there and like, I kind of feel that way about Ashland. I'm not gonna lie. Like, you just sitting there with some boom tubes, just waiting for somebody. Like, like, sometimes I feel that way, sometimes I don't. It's more just, I hate when the other YouTubers are like, I hate when YouTubers do that, because it's like, if you're sitting there, like, waiting for somebody to come in to just board them, grab their shit and leave, okay, I get that. But if you're sitting there doing that for content, you are just being, a dick. Like, I'm sorry, but like, if you're just doing that for the bit, then that's when I'm like, no. The content side of things is where I draw the line and have a bit of an issue with that, personally. But that is a personal thing. That doesn't necessarily affect everybody else. Careful, Blue Nova, that's grief for talk there. Glitching yourself into something and making yourself invulnerable and killing people as they spawn, that is grief. I don't know if that's been a thing in the game for a while, but yeah. or just like specifically hunting them down with no reason, that sort of thing. That's when I'm like, okay, we kind of have an issue here. But I'm also gonna stop off and grab myself a med gun and a couple of refills for it. I won't be able to use this directly, but I will be able to use this once I drop the HMG. So it's worth throwing into the box and then just dropping the gun and then loading up on health and then right back up. I'm a bit on the sadistic side. After all, I pushed for Oni-chan to read Far Country. And we're still waiting for the book on that one. It's supposed to be here September 13th, like the Amazon listing said, but I feel bad about that one. That one, like, Star-Lord here came earlier than Far Country did. And I'm looking forward to reading this one, actually. But, oh, weird. I think I pressed a button on accident, but yeah, I'm looking forward to reading Star-Lord. This one looks fun. Can a ragtag band of misfits save the inner sphere from an ancient evil? That basically sounds like either they ran into Comstar, or they ran into the clans, or they ran into some periphery monstrosity that they have to take on, and that sounds like a lot of fun. So I will inevitably be reading that. Honestly, as someone who came from EVE Online back in the day, I just assumed a permanent pessimistic view on everything. Everyone is out to get you, and everything is a scam/grift. I see where you can be jaded, and absolutely that does come up a lot, but I also think that it's down to intention and what you believe that person or thing's intention to be. That's what matters the most, and you really have to be able to sit there and give it a few seconds to kind of delineate the two. And the problem is, on the battlefield, you do not have time for that shit. Like, I'm sorry, I don't use VoIP, and if I see somebody out on the battlefield, out in space, I'm not gonna, I'm a slow typer. So it's one of those things where I don't have the 10 seconds. Like, even if it's 10, 15 seconds to try to type out, hey, are you friendly? By the time I type that, I'm gonna be dead. In most cases. So it's like, I've had instances where I've been in that sort of situation, and it's just like, I just, without even hesitating, shot the other player immediately. There was no ifs, ands, or buts about it. I just whipped around my CQ7 and just laid into him. I didn't even think he was a player at first. I thought he was just an NPC with the way that he was just they were just kind of standing there. And I'm just like, oh, cool, another pirate, just la-da-da-da-da. And then I just see in chat later, because I was like, I was just like, something feels off about that. Like, they seem to have a little bit more damage resistance than normal. And then later in the chat, like, I was like, hey, was somebody, like, over there at the Marine base? And they were like, yeah, you shot me. And I was like, I had no idea. That was, I didn't know if you were friendly. I didn't even think it was a player at first. I'm gonna be real. I thought it was just, like I said, a pirate, yeah, or just like a NPC. And I was just like, cool, blast. Because a pirate spawns in about the exact same location for that mission, so it's like, And it's just like, until we get better tools for like trying to delineate between friend or foe, that's going to be an issue. And it's like, I feel bad for having that sort of mentality, but at the same time, it keeps me alive. So I don't know what to do with that. Hello, Annika. I had a great idea. Oh, what was that one, Pom-Pom? Oh, yeah. Always put yourself first in a defensive posture. Only you can defend yourself from somebody that's being sneaky or in a place that aren't in there. Yeah, especially for like Moraine base, like Nyx is not all that hostile anymore. It used to be the PvP hot zone. It's not anymore, but like that's more pyro, but like for those sorts of areas, it's like, I'm sorry. I'm just going to be opening fire and asking questions later. And I realize that exact same mentality is going to be used against me, and it's not the best, but like, what do you do when it takes about 15 seconds to get a message out? And 15 seconds is less than the time to kill for most rifles, especially the CQ7, which is commonly available in that location. That was where it was, I don't want to say introduced, but like, it's an area where most players commonly get that rifle if it's not like crafted. So yeah, no, I'm gonna have to open fire. So make good on it. I turned a gang into a high sec and ganked random group of miners. Turns out they were neutral alts of the alliance leader. It was hilarious. And then she start blasting. Yes. And then I start blasting. Okay, real talk. I swear it's almost identical roam before. Same with the blue wall over living. Test alliance. What alliance were you in? Interesting. But yeah, again, not necessarily the greatest view on this sort of thing, those sorts of things, but it is what it be. Around what time frame I was in test before. I accidentally zapped a potential friendly in PvP. That's what you call an honest mistake. Danger Brain is active. Yep, that. And again, the poor person was just trying to get that mission done and make their, what, 40 to 50K off that mission, which is kind of incredibly low. Like, here's the thing about combat. I feel like these sorts of missions pay the least, but yet we have to be, well, supplied for it. And it's like, overall, I guess you make more profit, because if you can acquire your gear on site, you can potentially keep up. But like, unless you're in an org, you're not really going to be making the big bucks off of combat. Because unless you're in the player market, you don't really make that much as far as combat goes. Industry career would probably be a better choice if you're going solo, but you can make it work. It's a lot more difficult, but you can make it work. Tess was still around the time of Foundation. Was that around the time of WWB? I got to join Tess to go bash some bees. Bash some bees. I'm lost as to some of that context. I am... If that's Eve, I don't know. For Star Citizen, I do have a little bit of knowledge, but like, my knowledge is still somewhat limited on the subject, so. A bit before that, like a few months before. I gotcha. And again, we're just gonna toss these in here. I don't suspect we'll use them today, but it's nice to have these. I think I bought way too much, like, if I'm being honest. It might be useful for another day to have all this, but, like, yeah, I kind of went a little overkill with the prep, but better to be over-prepared than to have to come back to the station for resupply. And also, we're going to have to come back for food and water, but that's more a me issue after the stream, because we're already an hour in, and I am still prepping. But it's also because of the restart and whatnot. That's kind of why I've wanted to have, like, a platform out in space, like, basically like the 600i, where I have a whole bunch of supplies, and then I just, cool, my ship is ready, my supplies are ready. I don't have to spend an hour trying to get prepared for the missions that we're about to go and do, and we can just go and do them. But it is what it is. Gotcha. Might just be a 2 shining chrome roams that were too effective, but against a friendly all. You'd be surprised how common it was. I was joined up on a fail-frit frigate, Rome, led by Durhinder. I believe that's how you pronounce that. And we end up getting ganked by a neutral jump freighter that turned out to be friendly after the fact. Isn't that great? Because they're just like, oh no, somebody's capital ship is here, or like their ship is here, and if I don't gank it, it's gonna gank me. Gotta love that. And again, it does have that sort of problem, but at the same time, it's like, I would prefer not to get jumped, because I've had both things happen to me. God, DHD, that was man of true action. All right, we're firing up the engines, and we are gonna go take a contract, bounty hunting, reclusive target, huh? Should be just enough to show themselves. This target's been... Oh, this will be way out in an asteroid mining base. The problem is that's going to take a long time to get there, so I'm going to save that for a little bit later. That one looks fun, though. Ads, please. What did you see that I typed? I want to draw my skills, get better. I was more just... Did you see what I typed? I think I did. I just... My brain's all over the place. But, 101, let's have a look at what you just said. I wish I could draw better, but to draw it, hear me out, like a model of Exodia, or Excelia, excuse me, from Resident Evil 5, but as an R&R campus, or Canopus outfit. I see where some of that inspiration is, absolutely. That would be fun. And a neutral in your territory is fair game. True. Oh, once I found some unoccupied carriers, so I asked for a list of passwords, got one that worked, and I couldn't fly a carrier, however. Oh, that sucks. I wonder if you could get, like... I wonder if you could get somebody to come take it off your hands, though. Like, just basically sell it. Like, I have this ship, it works, but... it doesn't. But I don't have the training to pilot it. So I got a bunch of random people from the Alliance who could, and then we ended up stealing like 50 carriers. Hell yes. Hell yes, we love that sort of action here. Now, did you end up stealing them to sell them, or did you end up bolstering your alliance with it? Because that sounds fun either way. And a few days later, DHD asked me if I knew any pilots, so I directed him to the guys, how I made off with them. Oh. So wait. You basically have a password for each of your carriers. And that's what locks them, quote unquote, to you. So if somebody figures out the password, they can just take off with your ship. That's crazy. Then he flew a Badger into a newbie training op, said not to shoot him. He is recording. Then he lit. His side note probably have some of the newbie training op, killing them all. Ah, yes, because don't interfere with that is difficult. Oh, they were just standing behind a shield. No, Annika, the password was for the player-owned starbase. A password for that is insanity that somebody had a password as the only security to a base. How dreadfully inadequate. You have two forms of identification for security at all times for places like that. I'm sorry, this was my field of expertise as an IT specialist. What do you mean they had a password for this? Okay, a little rant here for a second. This is a side rant. So you're getting double whatever. Passwords are notoriously unreliable anymore because basically, yeah, the security for passwords has gone up significantly depending upon the company that you're working with, but still, all somebody needs to do is look through an old data breach of passwords, like a list of passwords, and then just sit there and try it for your password for your other accounts. Oh, it got locked out? Oh no, time to go try somebody else's, because that's, you basically have a list of passwords to use at that point. And just so many people's data has been destroyed that password search is ineffective anymore. If your place, if any company offers you the ability to do like a temporary, not even, just like generate a code to do it that way, it's much better to do it that way. Two-factor authentication's not even that great anymore as well, but because you can just bypass two-factor authentication sometimes, but yeah, because basically if you account recovery the password, you can basically, for some sites, just bypass two-factor altogether. So the best way to do it is just to have a one-time code that's generated. Yes, you can spoof the SMS, but for most people, you're more likely to be social engineered than you are to have a SMS spoof. It is possible. I'm not saying that it's not, but passwords are awful. And you had this for a player base. That was the level of security that was offered to you as a player, instead of just, you cannot enter this place, or a code. The Twitch side of the stream is dead. Oh, let me reboot it. I will be right back, chat. Damn you, Comstar. God, at one time an alliance worked his Nix into what he thought was a friendly BP, but it was an int, and the team speak we just hear his confusion switch to panic as the station started firing at him. You were the only person that explained this to me in a way without me feeling dumb. You don't feel bad. Do not feel bad. That when it comes to like computer security and all that, it is very complicated. It is a mess, and I understand where a lot of people are just like, this might as well be Greek to me. I get that. But yeah, no, passwords are just 90% of the time somebody breaches a password, it is through social engineering, and that's how they even get the lists of like passwords. Like Cyberlink, for instance. I'm actually I'm not going to use that as an example because I really don't want Rockstar banging down my door, because they've been doing that. I'm just like, yeah, you do that sort of stuff, Rockstar, and I'm sorry, but your game deserves to fail. Nine Tails territory, eh? Well, I'm sitting just above them. That's not good. How far away is that base? 2.4 kilometers. Yeah, we're going this way. Yeah, we're going not where the turrets are. And we're going to have to walk all that way with the armor. I was kind of hoping that this spot would not be as hostile, but it is not. I thought that this area was a little bit more friendly, but just with a potential ne'er-do-well inside. But no, it is not that, and we are in trouble. Okay, I'm just nope. Back up a little bit. I'm just above the ground, so gotta be a little bit cautious about that. Also, that looks like God rays, but I don't know if that's... I think that's just God rays. I'm not hearing my computer alarms going off. Okay, nice. Okay, I go back to lurking there. Well, you have a good day, Nero. You take care, okay? The real question is, why was one of their generic alliance passwords filled with valuables? It's the same reason that Happy's password in Spider-Man No Way Home was password. People just use the same passwords each and every single day. And it's a frustration to attack, but I get it. It's like you want to have the easiest, convenient thing for you to remember, or you have a book of passwords, which is technically even worse because, oh cool, now all your secure passwords are now in a book that is not secure, and now you have to physically safeguard that. Now you have more things to worry about. And it's like if all I have to do is guard basically a device that generates a code, and it's simple to just generate the code, and that's that, fine. I can live with that. We can still be quite nice, however. True. However, anyways, I've not played Eve in like 10 years. Far too busy these days. No, I get that. Eve is, Eve looks like it's a undertaking, even more than Star Citizen is. And that's saying something, considering Star Citizen is this large. Alright, is this a decent way to get in and out of the ship? Survey says open the button door. There we go. Survey says yes, but the ship is rocking and bouncing, and I don't like that Crisco effect. It should not feel like Crisco when I go to try and do that, but you know what? That's fine. Oh yeah, the spreadsheet joke isn't without merit. Oh, I would imagine so. Also, is the... Okay, the atmosphere is safe. I should have really checked that before I went taking off my suit. With the door open, by the way. I was that dumb. I was that silly to try and do that without, yeah, no, it was, not good. Also, I'm going to drop a few of these on the floor and so try and load it myself. Where did the ammo go? It is no... Oh, well, it's here. Okay, now did that equip it, or... It has equipped it. Excellent. So I can just kind of drag it in there. I can reload myself. Okay, I am not helpless. I can... Where's the gun? Did I just lose the... Where did the gun go? No. Where, what? The HMG is gone. No. That was the entire point of this damn stream. Where did it go? Welcome to Star Citizen. God, I love this bug. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. No, it was... I don't have another weapon. I spent an hour getting everything together just so we could go do this contract. And you're telling me that the fucking machine gun just disappeared. I tried to drag it into my inventory and it is now gone. You don't need one. You are the weapon. Suppose you're right. Suppose you're right. These bugs are a problem. This big sucks. Yep. Hello. Looking forward to getting home and trying the heavy armor. So how many bugs are there this time? I want you to look at, I want you to look at my weapons. I want you to look at this. I want you to look at this storage container. Do you notice the thing that's missing? I'll give you a big hint. The fucking HMG just slipped out of my hands like a banana peel and dropped into the core of the planet. Well, her audio is bugged and the gun just vanished, lol. I have ammo for it. The HMG was there, and then I saw that thing once. I was so looking forward to testing it, and now it's gone. I get to claim it because it's the one I purchased as a part of the pack, but like, CGI. The fuck is this? Look, I'm trying really hard to, like, enjoy the game and all that. Blue Nova, thank you for the gifted memberships. I do appreciate that. I'm trying to play this game. I'm trying to enjoy it. And, like, not really give a flying fuck about whatever's going on right now, especially with your new raid. We haven't even gotten there yet. I went to do a basic contract with the armor I just got, and my gun just disappeared. I'm about 5 seconds from turning this off and never playing this again. At least on stream. But you know what? Fine. 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 We got a mission. We have ammo. We have heavy armor. We can go and do that. And I landed generally where, in the direction that I need to in order to complete this assignment. So I'm going off this way to go complete the mission. And I'm just gonna go grab a gun off of somebody and then just do it the right way. I have 2 or 3 of those HMGs I found in RBs when 4.9 first dropped. Okay, so here's the thing. That was the Damascus Steel one. That was the Damascus Steel version that I paid for. And now I look like a doofus because I wanted to show off that armor. I did want it for myself. Don't get me twisted. But I wanted to show it off as like, hey, here's this super heavy armor. And like, hey, this is a good time. And like, we're all having a great time and everything's fantastic. And now I'm without a gun. And in the super heavy armor, you really can't have another weapon besides the HMG. Like, you can pick up other weapons, you can have ammo for other weapons. It's just, it doesn't really work all that well, and I'm gonna die. I'm just gonna straight up die. Well, I survived. That wasn't actually that much damage either. This video game does not seem to video game very well. It's kind of the problem. Normally it does, and it doesn't have these sorts of issues. The last couple of patches, however, have been really bad about that sort of thing. To the person who asked that game, this is about how Star Citizen goes. Sometimes it's great, sometimes this happens and it wastes an hour of your time. An hour of my time when I'm trying to show off this game to other people because I genuinely enjoy it and want to have a great time with this game. This is why I'm pissed. This isn't about the content. This isn't about, oh, I'm trying to play what's popular. No, I chose this game because I love it. And it's spitting in my face right now. And I'm angry about it. Like, I didn't put 30 bucks into this because I wanted content. I put 30 bucks down because I was excited for the super heavy armor and the HMG coming out. And I wanted to support them. It wasn't about, like... It's like you keep smacking me when I try to show off your game, and I don't want to do this. Like, I'm frustrated. When Star Citizen works, it's absolutely amazing. Nothing comes close. Since 4.8, it's a piece of garbage. CTS and game weren't arrogant, cocky with their patches since, which is not deserved, by the way. James, welcome in, by the way. Welcome to the Lancemates. You now have access to all the emotes, including the Aerofor and Mad Cat. Please use responsibly, no blowing up other people's chats, and enjoy. 699 left. Their success last year in 4.8, and that's all when it came home to Rooster. Yep. And I'm just like, And it's like, it's just not deserved. It's not deserved in that way of their arrogance is not deserved when this is what's currently here. Somebody who's just passionate about the game, hasn't quite been burnt out yet, and is just trying to give the game a good experience. Hell, I even paid for the... That was not given to me. This pack was not given to me. I bought it with my own money because I cared that much about the game. And this is the quality that they gave us. I'm currently running to an objective to go smack somebody upside the face for their weapon so I can complete this objective and probably die. Because there's no way in hell I'm not going to get noticed as soon as I get there. It's not that it's not possible to do what I'm trying to do here. It's that I'm fighting uphill when I really should not have had to do that. Just out of curiosity, have you tried Elite? Yes, I tried Elite. Arena, I want to like Elite Dangerous. There is not enough of the cockpit space and internal, like, there's not enough internals to the vessel. It's like, it is a spaceship that gets you from point A to point B. I want to live out of that starship. I want to go amongst the stars and explore them. Elite doesn't quite have that yet. And they've kind of said as much as they don't want to. And it's like, it kind of seems like they're shooting themselves in the foot a little bit with that one. Not in my eyes, by the way. This is the sentiment of, this is what I see from the Elite Dangerous community and their response to the developers of Elite Dangerous on that one. And that kind of throws me into the same camp as well, because I'm like, I want the internals. I want to live out of my starship, and Star System provides that to some extent. However, when your game breaks like this, to where I lose... Okay. The reason I am angry is because 4.9, I bought one of my favorite guns, crafted, 900, about 900 quality, which is about the best you can get. It was a P6 sniper rifle. I had the iron sights, and it was glorious. It would one-tap just about everything. Minus like a boss or a ship or something. For ground combat, it had no equal. Minus like maybe the CQ7 in time to kill, but like, it's a one-shot 50 BMG at close range. You are not surviving that. I am sorry. So to lose a weapon like that was heartbreaking, and I lost it on stream as well. This is not the first time I've lost a weapon on stream and just kind of went, that sucks, but you know, it's in-game money, so who cares? This, I bought it, and I might be able to claim it, but it still doesn't help me out here when I'm on a moon about, you know, I'm on a moon far away from Microtech up there. I'm assuming that's Microtech. I don't know. But, and the station to try to claim that, and then, and I'm kind of guessing on which direction I'm going to try to get to the base. I don't even really care about that at this point, because we're just walking the path of insanity at this point. This is the trail of just tears and confusion as Star Citizen sells 5,000 Odins, but yet can't deal, I think that's space over there, with somebody's weapon just getting launched out into space. I'm just like, please, get your shit together. Please. I want this game, and it's breaking my heart that this game that I love is joining the dustbin of the other games that I've thoroughly enjoyed. Halo, for instance, just joined that dustbin. Like, I'll still play some of the older games. I'll still play the mods. They're a lot of fun. But as for new games, Activision's going to be running it now. And I'm just like, they just killed their own franchise. So what? Like, oh, they're going to try and launch Modern Warfare 4. But the beta went from 100,000 people to 28,000 overnight. And they tried to get big influencers, especially like Blame Truth, for example, to basically they just sent them a copy of the game and was just like, here's the game. Or at least that's what I could piece together from their recent postings. Cringe bots, yes. Sorry, I was a little bit preoccupied with all that. I don't know if you'd be able to claim it. It's a war bond package, so you can't melt it and rebuy it with credits. Don't know if they've added armor or weapon reclaims to hangars. Oh, I'm gonna fight them on that. I'm gonna fight them on that. I might just go and issue a chargeback because, like, the fuck you mean I buy a gun and it just suddenly disappears? Okay, I realize that I shouldn't be buying this sort of stuff, right? I get that. But I do want to support the development of the game, and yes, it has $1 billion, whatever, then I get that. But, like, I want this game to succeed genuinely, and that's why I haven't put as much time or effort into like games like GTA 6, where I want them to absolutely fail because they have private equity. So as much as I'm pissed off right now that I lost my HMG, and it sounds like from what Alpha's saying here, I can claim it at the primary residence, so that's good at least. But, like, please, SIG, RSI, whoever the fuck is listening out there, please get your shit together. Because I want to financially and, like, I don't know, energetically support you, because you're putting together a game that I truly believe in, and I want to see succeed, because this is a game from the people for the people, and not some private equity bullshit like GTA 6 is. That's currently, what, $1 billion game in of its own right, but the problem is that they've went so private equity that it's the same sort of rhetoric just on their side of things. And it's like, I would rather support this game because at least it was built up from the ground to be for the people. So please, stop embarrassing the indie development teams out there. You are... Star Citizen, listen to me for a second. You are the $1 billion indie game. You are the one that's on the focal point for the other side of the industry right now. You cannot afford to be shown up by GTA 6 or any private equity game. You cannot fuck this up, because if you do, it ruins the rest of the industry for all the other indie developers. So please, this cannot continue. I cannot fire up a stream and then just be inundated with bugs like this. Like, yes, it happens every once in a while. Like, it's like they've used the excuse that's in beta. It's been in beta for 13 years. But at the very least, you have a game that's out that's actually playable instead of GTA 6, where everybody's put down $100 and or 80, depending on which version you got, and they do not have a game to play. They have not seen official, and here are the quotes in my voice, official gameplay. And even at that, they're locking it behind a paywall for Netflix. So, you know, I'd rather be over here supporting Star Citizen. And yes, I admit it has bugs. And yes, I'm pissed off at said bugs right now, but damn, we have it good. At this point, they're being shown up by No Man's Sky. It's your game, Chris. Wrap it up. XD. I do like No Man's Sky. The art palette and some of the combat and, like, not the space combat, but FPS, like, on the ground combat is kinda annoying, but No Man's Sky is a really good game, and I don't want people to... Where's my ship? I don't see the marker for the... Oh, there it is. Okay. I've gone 1.5 kilometers, which means the base is out here another 1.8 kilometers that way. Oh, and by the way, I'm pretty sure I'm just going to, as soon as I'm pretty sure I'm just going to end up having to, Endless Sky is the $0 indie game budget. I highly recommend it. Endless Sky, huh? I haven't heard of that one. We might give that one a shot. Let's see here. Endless Sky. Da-dun-da-da. It is a 2D space trading combat game inspired by the classic Escape Velocity series. Okay, interesting. We'll go ahead and put that up there. And for sake of everybody else, we will watch the trailer. Ooh, that's way too loud. Sorry about that. The galaxy awaits. Ooh. Run missions. Mine for riches. Sever prime trading routes. And enjoy your wealth. Is this single player or be more aggressive? Fight pirates. Or become one. Ooh. Just watch your back. Become stronger. Fight across the galaxy. Embark on epic stories. Encounter many different factions. Earn their trust. See the stars. Join the Helldiver. No. I'm sorry. However, beware the depths of space. Oh. Endless Sky. Fly free forever. Play free forever. Okay. Yeah, that is basically Battletech, but it's, this is Battletech, but yet it's kind of like Star Citizen, or basically just, yeah, like a really good space game. Thank you for that recommendation. I'm going to put that onto my Steam library immediately, and expect a stream on that next week, because I'm always interested in throwing in different games into the rotation. How does everyone feel about that, by the way? I thought that was a really cool game. Like, I appreciated the it almost felt like Spore as well. Endless Space 2 is on the market, actually. It is a bit of a cost to it. It seems mixed ratings. Why is that? Broken game. If the game's not finished, it'll turn to 200 to 300 bugs. Can't progress. Oops, that's still playing. Sorry about that. Broken game. I lost 20 hours on 3 different campaigns to get a crash. Infinite turn ending. Empire turn 289. This sounds like it was a different approach to that, almost like that of like Civilization, sort of thing. Is very different from Star Sector. Star Sector is classic but has a learning cliff. Learning cliff, huh? Well, might be fun. The thing that drives me off of No Man's Sky is the way the vehicles control. So, for me, it was the ground combat. Because you go to fight the Sentinels, you get a code, right? But then you get the code and you just turn everything off and that's it. There's no more Sentinels for that area. And the weapons don't feel... They feel like multi-tools. They feel like FPS combat was not the main focus of the game, which I get, but at the same time, that's why I'm here. Like, I am here for epic quests and combat. Like, first-person epic combat. Yeah, that's basically why I'm here. And just living in space, pretty much. But I'm going to throw this one onto my wish list and kind of figure out a little bit more about that. And then as for the original game, I do want to throw that onto the... Oh, there's 2 different ones. The Endless Sky and then Endless Sky. Interesting. Okay, so the one we just had a look at, I put that in the Endless Sky. Okay, just so everybody knows what the hell I'm talking about, this is the other one. The Endless Sky. It seems to be a Spanish translation. Developer is Sunday Games. English language not supported. Yeah, that seems about right. Is this the same thing? No. It's a different game entirely. Fair enough. Okay. Well, back to what we were doing. Because ADHD go burr. I want to say, I was going to say it looks more like Spore's space station, but good. Yeah, buying guns is an American right. It is. So here's the thing about that sort of thing. I like the fact that we can do that, and I think the idea of being able to have a gun is basically just, you want to train with that. So basically everybody in a society is armed. So basically everyone's gonna be like, hey, maybe we shouldn't tussle with each other. Maybe we should find some common ground and work from there. That's all a lot of people in America want, if they are a gun owner. That doesn't speak for everybody, obviously, but that's the general idea. Because you never know what happens in this crazy world, and with the way that things are going, having an armed but polite society is the way to go. And again, it's not so much, oh, we have big rifle to do a mean thing. It's more, I have a rifle so that way I can defend myself, my family, and potentially, if it comes down to it, hunt down food if need be. Because the other side of it, it's, we want to actually be able to defend and protect, but also just, it's more, okay, we're on an even playing field. Let's talk instead of, you know, mutually blowing each other up. problem with the polite society that's not always so polite. No, and unfortunately that is a concern, but at the same time, it's like, it's one of those things, which is very unfortunate, but it's basically like the Battletech universe. It's like, humans will always go after each other, but it's just more the fact that it's that they want their nation to do well, or they want themselves to do better. And instead of just, if I can be honest, I think a lot of those issues could be fixed if, again, the literacy rate was a little bit higher. I'm going to use Battletech as an example. There are not many people in the Inner Sphere that were that highly educated, besides the besides some more royal nobility sort of folks. If you were not one of them, you were not going to be having a great education. In the Inner Sphere, at least. It also depends on the time period, but during the Succession Wars, no, they were too busy getting blown to smithereens. So, no, you were not going to have a great education. Oh, for starter ships, I remember choosing the shuttle or the star barge. Fighters complete garbage, and only for those looking for a hard start, the shuttle is the best by far. I think it's times... I'm remembering that quote from Mick and Ralph's in Fallout New Vegas. A lot of people here have played Fallout New Vegas, and I don't even need anybody to say it. It's like, I know this community, I know it well, is inadvertently playing Fallout New Vegas is like a prerequisite for some of us. You like running text, the tech smuggling. The tech smuggling is kind of fun. It's just, again, if it's the mission that I'm thinking of, like the data retrieval for Galactica, the boxes sometimes glitch out, kind of like the HMG, and it's just, it's, yeah. I love how Kerensky left the Inner Sphere only for his kids upon his death to do every single thing that he left in the Inner Sphere over. Yep, and that was all in the video that went up today, and I was on a bit of a time crunch for that video. It was self-induced, to be fair. I was like, oh, I wanted to do that reaction video today. And I'm looking at the clock. I'm like, I have like 3 hours. I have 3 hours, give or take, to get this video done. And I pulled it off. It was, there should have been no way I completed that video in 3 hours, but here it is. And I thought it turned out good. I genuinely think it turned out good. The only problem is that I might not have paused enough to get my thoughts on the subject at hand and kind of talked over text in a few places, which I do regret doing. Leaving Profit. I went the complete wrong way. It is 3 kilometers that way. It is 3 kilometers that way. I wonder what Clan Wolf would do now that they won Terra. The clan won't work over their... The clan won't want to work over their neighbors. Girl, look. that part of the lore just... How are you gonna tell me the clans came back from getting absolutely botched during the Battle of Turkide, and then on top of that, the Inner Sphere is producing equipment and like reproducing its old equipment and also getting new equipment, especially from clan deals, especially with like what was left of Clan Wolverine, a couple of the other ones I'm forgetting off the top of my head. I think it was Horse House or whatever. Basically, the merchant caste was all that was left of one of the clans, and they just were happy to trade clan tech for exorbitant prices, but still, you could purchase that. Your ship blow up? Why are you walking so far? The base here is Ninetail, and Ninetail don't like me, so they're gonna try and shoot down my ship with size 2 repeaters. Or, no, I think it's size 3. I think it's size 3. It's comparable to a spaceship. So it will absolutely tear through my ship's hull, and then it will blow it up. Which, honestly, if we're just gonna go back to the port anyways, just backspace, basically, I might as well have just landed the Corsair a little bit closer. I was kind of hoping for this to be a little bit more of like regardless of the HMG nonsense, I was hoping for this to be more of, I'm gonna go grab something. Like, I'm gonna go do this bounty, and then I'm gonna get back into my ship, and then we're gonna go do something else. But no, I am stuck climbing rocks in a power armor suit, and generally just reconsidering all my choices today. Well, some of them, not all of them. The clans did suffer bad losses, yes, but Comstar's losses were devastating. It's also been a century in saying a lot has happened, but the house is never united to push the rest of the clans out. They really jumped the Diamond Shark with the Dark Ages. Not with the way they did the Jaguar, smoked Jaguars anyways. I mean, I guess that is true, but it's just like, it's still like, to me, it's a little... I just, personally, this is a personal opinion. I just don't buy it. I'm sorry. I don't buy it. Like, the clans got devastated. Like, yes, Comstar got devastated too. Don't get me wrong. But you're talking the ill clan of one of, if not multiple of the clans dying that day. Most of their equipment, most of the warriors and equipment they had in the invasion corridor to begin with. And you're telling me they made up all of that losses in 15 years based off of what they had from the Pentagon worlds and maybe a few other worlds that they had there at the time based on what I know from the clan primer. You want to tell me that they replaced all their losses and got all that equipment there in basically the 15 years that the Battle of Turkide, basically the peace agreement, or at least the, or at least not necessarily peace, but like at least the line was drawn in the sand, that sort of thing. Which clan did their best at Turkide? Wolf. Which has Terra now? Wolf. I get that, but that's only supposed to be like, that's like one clan. You're telling me one clan was able to get through the houses to get to Terra, which at best has, what, maybe a galaxy or two? Or not even that. Like, basically, a galaxy, by the way, is like close to, in this rough estimate, 240 to 400 mech warriors of various mechs and clan technology. There is a population as well. A clan have population of tens of millions, maybe pushing hundreds of million. A medium population in the IS world has a population of billions. Yeah, I'm not even talking like they put up a decent fight. I'm talking you threw people into the grinder and you're telling me they got all the way to Terra. It's just, I don't buy it. Like, again, there's some context I'm missing, yes, with Clan Wolf, but like Blue Nova was saying, clan population has tens of millions. And again, this is from the second there was 2 Exodus events. One for the initial one, and then a splinter faction off of that developed the clans back into the Pentagon worlds, and then restarted from there over 200 years. And that's leading up to the Battle of Turkide. And then they get wiped out again and get reduced to lower numbers than that. Yes, these are well-trained people, and yes, I get that. But at what point do you just lose so many people, personnel, equipment, that your morale is just so low? I'm not even talking like physical fighting strength, like just morale of the clans at this point. They have watched so many of their people die, their leaders die, everything. And you're telling me that they have the courage and the equipment and the people to push all the way to Terra by themselves. Basically just Clan Wolf at this point. I beg your friend's pardon. I don't think so. It's silly, yes. Like, again, I realize the Comstar is just absolutely slogged at this point. We had the Word of Blake incident that I don't know too much about, but yes, it was straining the inner sphere, but just pure numbers and the tech that they had at the time of the, what was that, the Jihad, or basically after the Civil War, they still have the numbers, not necessarily unification, but the numbers to just go hippity-hoppity, get off my property. Like, basically just do a periphery, just wall of mechs, wall of people, something. These have been people who are fighting since the dawn of time in mechs. And you're telling me that they got to Terra. I don't even, based off of everything I've seen, or like, in here, like, from all this evidence, it's kind of pushing it more from an opinion to a theory. I just, like, I don't see the evidence for them to reach Terra in a way that makes sense for a story. Especially when Battletech's been about morale at all times. Especially with the morale after the American Civil War. Like, going into an exodus, into tin can for years to go to the Pentagon worlds. Like, at what point do you just, at what point did the clans or just any of those people go, this is not worth it? So I'm pretty sure the Battle of Turkide, or however you would try to pronounce that, I think that's a correct pronunciation, but still, would go, this is not worth it. There was huge pushes for disarmament in the Dark Ages, wasn't there? I'm not 100% sure on that one. Again, there might be some context I'm missing, but like, I don't know that for certain. And at this point, by the time I get to the bunker, I'm going to die of dehydration because I'm sprinting in super heavy armor and it's not... Yeah, yeah, that, yeah. And then they didn't keep fighting a war. This game needs some night vision. I think there is, but unfortunately for some of the ships, it's limited, and for some of the for some of the night vision was lost. Again, I'm not trying to defend all the decisions. I'm not a fan of Clan Wolf. It just didn't appear out of nowhere. It's lost tech. The night vision is lost tech. I understand. I understand. I'm just like, that makes no sense, like, story-wise, on how Clan Wolf got there. Like, I'm missing some context, but just, it doesn't... I don't think that adds up as well as they want it to, and... yeah. Now I have to go and do all of that again. Wolves having plot armor to take over Terra is just bleh. Yeah, because none of it makes sense. Like, again, for everything that happened in Battletech, it had a reason, it had a motivation, like character-driven, like, decision that either helped or hindered the current objective to get there. Like, for example, Kerensky losing territory in the hegemony during the American Civil War was because House Krita decided that they wanted to be a bit of a prick and then just help out Ameris, not necessarily kind of forced to, but still. Helping out Ameris and also going, hey, these worlds are free for the taking because nobody is there to take care of it. And, you know, it would be so much a strain on Kerensky if they had to take over and govern the world. So if we just take it from them and run it ourselves, that'll be a good thing for whatever messed up government it is. And yeah, House Krita is not that great. At least there's a lore reason behind it. It really seems like Clan Wolf had some plot armor and just went just straight on into Terra from what I'm seeing, and it's just like, that's not right. Wolf plot armor is bleh, agreed. The top winners current year at BT are the Sea Foxes, Goliath Empire, Snow Raven, and the Troyes Combine as far as GDP and military power. I accidentally put year. Yeah, no, I get you. I read it correctly, actually. Oh, and Silver Thorn, thank you for the head pats. I don't know if it showed up, mix it up. It hasn't really been working, but... okay, I'm just gonna take the armor. I'm gonna see if I can re-get my gun, and then I'm just gonna take a spaceship. More or less crash land at the objective, go blast everything, and then we'll just call that a contract. Isn't the house layout doing really well once Davion and Mark start faltering? No idea on that one, actually, because I haven't gotten that for it yet. But the only thing that would make sense if they were somehow able to fly in without drawing aggro from making the great houses without a single fight, and found Terra totally undefended. Also, Ellie Q Peppy, thank you for the head pats. I'm not sure if it worked, but video game, big if true. even then, how would such a scenario be justified? The only way that would make sense is that Comstar being out of the picture at this point, or at least kind of like damaged from Word of Blake, isn't able to keep up their HMG or HBG network, and like the Great Exodus, basically most of the reports are just kind of like local reports, not necessarily the big reports. Like, hey, there is a massive fleet just heading straight for Terra as fast as they can, and they're not stopping until they control Terra. And I'm just like, the only reason that worked the first time was because Blake specifically went, nope, those messages don't get sent. Nope, nope. And everybody in the area who knew about that sort of thing was just like, that is the biggest fleet ever seen in the Inner Sphere and likely will be ever seen again. I am not going to interfere with that because that would be a death sentence. And frankly, they're not shooting at us, so maybe we won't do that. Didn't the Republic of Stone have that weird jump ship barrier too? Actually, I think the Diamond Shark animal was the only animal from a rival clan to eat an elemental. Sea foxes. It's like, that's a great battle. Should we rebrand our clan?
Hello.
You know what's funny is I confuse the Diamond Sharks sometimes for the Rim Republic because they look kind of similar. Not exactly similar, but like sometimes I've seen their insignia and I was just like, I had to stare at it for more than 2 seconds to be like, oh, it's not it. Also, I just lost train of thought for a second. You would need a sort of massive successful war equivalent going on, draw all the house's attention. Also, Word of Blake, is one of those plays that only works once. Yes. Do you have similar insignias? See, at least that's valid. Yeah, I just like because like at least with the HBG networks being down, like I could see, I could at least see that they don't have the communications, because again, Comstar, HMG, a big part of BattleTech, a big part of the only reason why they've been able to communicate over the years. That being down, maybe you would have a chance to slip through, but that would be a hell of a feat to get a fleet about half the size of Karinsky's through the area without being spotted. Again, I say half because there's no way you are slipping an entire fleet of that size through that space. Sorry. Nope, you're fine. I'm gonna be over here.
All right. It was nice chatting with you.
Oh, no, they're checking out. Okay, well, we're out of here. I won't work again, as everyone would plan for an event of total communication.
Hi, and welcome to New Balance.
I agree with that. Yeah, it's just, you have to realize I'm trying to give them any sort of, why did that say XL? Why did that say XL? Please don't tell me this is a gigantic ship. I just want to fight it. No. Alfred. Why? I don't know you. Please go away. Are you? Oh, the in-game chat is on, by the way. Oh, they just disappeared. Who is that? No idea. I have absolutely zero idea, but they just teleported away into thin air, which is good, because I didn't want to deal with that. Oh yeah, now you have an XL hanger in Babbage. Excellent, I think, maybe. Is that a new hire? No, they just saw my armor. It's like, that looks cool. I'm gonna try and go with you. And it's like, I am not. Because of the Perseus. I see. I don't usually, like, I have wanted a Perseus, but basically the only way you get it is either by buying it or you go through Wilco, which, here's the thing about that. Here's the thing about that little... This one, Wilco's Emporium. I think you need rank 2 with him in order to start that quest. Let me see. No, you need that. You need very best customer for special Idris contract. For the Perseus, you just need a whole lot of parts. Now, the parts are fine, except for when basically, you need so many parts for this thing. A lot of favors, Fontanium, stuff like that for Polaris bits, right? And you need a certain amount of those, a lot of other mine stuff that at this point, when you go to build this thing, it might be another patch cycle because it just takes so long to build the thing. And on top of that, it is not a permanent ship. So you put in hundreds of hours of work for this thing. It damn near, like, organizations have trouble sometimes, especially with, like, the Idris, for example. But Perseus is a little bit better, right? But still, you put in hours of work just to build this thing, and if there's a full wipe, that takes your Perseus with it. And that includes the Idris as well, if you go that route for the Idris, which I gotta say, that's, by the way, you need to go to the elevators terminal to reclaim the minigun. I think I'm at the, yeah, claim mode, loaded contents. I have a few more than I intended. I am going to claim. I did not know I had all this. Also, where's the gun? Exclude paints. There is no weapon here. Oof. Please tell me the minigun is here. Please tell me that the minigun is here. This isn't good. I'm seeing a whole lot of rifles. I'm seeing a whole lot of pistols, but I'm not seeing anyone else put ranch on dry biscuits in order to make them not dry. I think that's what I'm gonna do for dinner and no other food. One. If you want to make a dry biscuit not dry, here's what you do. You take the piece of bread, and this works for any bread, by the way. You just put a bit of water on it, and then you heat it in the microwave. Not like I'm going to drown the bread. No, just like maybe a few drops to a little bit of water on top of it. Just give it a bit of moisture. When you go to heat it up in the microwave, or preferably the air fryer, it takes the moisture that you put on top of it and kind of evenly cooks your bread instead of, I'm just going to just burn the shit out of it because there's no moisture in it. But yeah, I am up way too late. I get ya. But yeah, it's the same kind of concept, but yeah, no. Also, ranch on biscuits. An interesting choice. I'm not sure about it myself, but sure. There's the Luck Bringer that we had another episode. The Pulverizer LMG, there's the Racing Pistol, there's the Payback, and the HMG is not here. Range is all I got, unfortunately. I'm gonna give this one last check. I'm gonna try a different terminal. That's the fleet manager. One more time. Just... There is no HMG here. French is all you got, then the biscuit is also made out of French. RSI. Quick word. This is unacceptable. This is a brand new patch, 4.10. And I know you had issues with 4.9. I tried my hardest to just be like, it's just like, hey, look, they tried to patch it, they messed up, like, their heart's in the right place, but this is getting concerning, and it's breaking the hearts of those who actually appreciate your game. I'm not kidding myself. I stream this game because I love your game. I am not one of your professional content creators who got this and just, oh, I happened to lose the gun. That was my hard-earned money. That is now potentially just gone because your game bugged out to the point where I completely lost that HMG of no fault of my own. I was trying to retrieve it from a box and it completely messed that up. And it just completely glitched through my ship and just disappeared. That is a war bond. That is money that people spend on your game because we believe in you to create a good game. And now, because you're doing this shit, I have to call you out, just like I have everybody else, just to keep it equal. I love your game, but this is unacceptable. You have $1 billion. You have the same amount of cash as Rockstar right now. Like, that's how much money they invested into their game. You are the indie equivalent of GTA 6, of the size of the game, not necessarily the same. This is not apples to apples. This is apples to oranges, technically. You have to fix this. Not for me, not for another streamer, not for the tons of money that we spent on the game, because this is your passion, this is your vision, and if it keeps failing, nobody's gonna play it. You cannot continue this way. And, yeah, we're done here. We are absolutely done here. I'm not going to waste my time, doing this for, like, I know it's fun, like, haha, she lost her gun to the fucking void, but you need to do better, RSI. If you want me, or anybody else for that matter, to continue playing the game, not stream it, play the game, you need to fix your game. 4.9 was supposed to be a stability patch. And I gave you the benefit of the doubt that some spaghetti code got messed up. It's a large game, I get it. But your brevity is running out. Like, people are getting pissed. And this is supposed to be the gigantic moment, especially with Siege of Orson. I was excited for this. I pre-ordered, not pre-ordered, but basically I got the pack as soon as I heard about the power armor. I was excited for this. I heard the sounds of this armor, and I went, ah, the sounds. They know how to design a fucking game. But then I go, oh no, they don't know how to design a game because I lost my machine gun to the void. This isn't about me as a content creator right now. This is about the game that we are both very much invested into. I love this game. I don't want it to die like Halo did. I don't want it to die like the Call of Duty Zombies mode that I loved so much. I couldn't care less about the campaign, but like, come on. I don't want it, I don't want this game to die like so many others have. This is the game I came to for refuge from Halo because that game died. Please do not kill this game like that game did. Like the developers did for Halo. I love this game. Please do not do this. And that's it. That's it. I cannot. I do not want to stream this for a while. I'm going to let them do what they need to. I might participate in the Siege of Orson, but I am very frustrated with the, where this is at right now. We did not complete a single mission today because of this. And this has been a colossal failure. And you know what? I don't think that was on me. I tried. I tried. I tried to use your systems to reclaim the items that we've lost, and it's not there. And on top of that, how does that even happen? Did you not bug test this? Like, what is going on over there? I don't know, but I'm done for now. I was in high school when Star Citizen was announced. I'm 31. Star Citizen ate the gun she paid for. That's rough. And look, I want to be clear. The $30 that I spent on it, it's whatever. I was the dumbass that bought the $30 pack. I weird that. I should not have bought the microtransaction. I wanted to support the game that I cared about. Because instead of them being private equity, they are a game that has been built from the roots up as an indie game. So, because I love the game, because it's from an indie studio, indie being in quotes now, I guess, but whatever, I wanted to support them because I genuinely care about this game. And I do not want it to die. I do not want to rush this off the screen because it, like, broke so bad. I want it to succeed. But right now, this is the state of the game, and I wanted to be wrong with this update. I am very disappointed, and I really hope that I'm really hoping that this gets fixed, but I don't know at this point, and it's sad. PlanetSide 2 is fun. Oh, we'll look into that. I'm worried about chat. They seem I don't think they're getting enough like and subscribe in their diet. Calvin, thank you. Annika, there's one game in chat that's free that needs more players called PlanetSide 2, and it's like OG Battlefield 2 with sci-fi tech. You might like it a ton. I have heard of that game, and I do. I have played it occasionally. I just wanted to play it more with controller, but since I've been playing Star System with more mouse and keyboard, I might be looking into that. But yeah, thank you for the recommendations as far as the game goes. The PlanetSide and Endless Sky. I will be putting Endless Sky into the rotation. Again, thank you, chat, for that suggestion. This will be in the place of Star Citizen next week, because this is atrocious, and I want to give it time to do something. Hotfix, a bunch of monkeys with wrenches. I don't care. This needs to be fixed. And RSI, I want my money back. Yeah, I think I think for a refund at this point. What did Annika say? I missed like 2 minutes of the stream. Star Citizen needs to do better. They owe me a refund for my gun dropping through the earth, and yeah, I'm probably gonna play PlanetSide 2 or Endless Sky in place of Star Citizen next week, just so there's a little bit of variety in content, and we get to see some of the games that chat is excited for. So I want to thank Uwu, Nova Cat, One Pom Pom, Galleon, Raccoon Riot, Blue Nova, Alpha, Ethan, Rock Wild Dis, I believe that's how you say that. I do apologize if that was quite the right pronunciation. Bruce Wilson. Let's see here. Who else is here? James Hunter. And again, congratulations on becoming a Lance mate. You do have access to all those emotes, so please enjoy. Nero. Let's see, who else was here today? I think that was Daniel Wood. Let's see, who else was here today? I think that was as far as the YouTube chat went. Ellie Cute Puppy, Silverthorn, Nero, Legionum, and I want to say thank you to each and every single one of you pilots. It's always a pleasure to fight by your side. And as always, this has been Call Sign Annika. Signing out.